Identify what you're going to drop out for. This means like, what field are you going in? Are you doing real estate? Are you doing stocks? Are you an entrepreneur starting something new and doing your own business? Find out exactly what you need to do to get into the industry that you're trying to get into. So basically, when I started, I reached out to John. Reaching out to John, they set me on the path to talk to different people in the brokerage that I'm in right now.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Walk to Wealth podcast. If you're tuning in on YouTube or any of the podcast directories, make sure to do yourself one teeny tiny little favor and make sure to give us a follow because you don't want to miss out on any.
I'm sorry, do that again? Because I thought there was something in front of the camera, but it's really just the TV. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, bro. Because I just looked in the camera like this. People going to think I'm weird.
All right, from the top.
All right.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Walk to Wealth podcast. If you're tuning in on YouTube or any of the podcast directories, make sure to do yourself one teeny tiny little favor and make sure to give us a follow because I don't want you to miss out on any of the amazing guests that got coming on this year. And we're back for part 2 of a banger of an episode that we're working on right now. How to successfully tell your parents that you're going to drop out of college. Right? Part 1, me and Darren went deep into how we dropped out, why we dropped out, what made us drop out. Right? We both of us dropped out during the pandemic. And if you're listening to us now, we're not in a pandemic. So times are a little bit different, right? So you got to take everything we're saying with a little bit of a grain of salt. You feel me? And so, but today in this episode, we didn't get to finish the last episode, but we really want to deliver some real value. We want to give you guys a step-by-step playbook, the game, the sauce to dropping out successfully. Right? Last episode, we just told you how we dropped out, why we dropped out, but like you can't really do nothing with that. I mean, you get some inspiration, you get some ideas, but like we're about to really teach you how to drop out today. Like this is real sauce because F the traditional education system.
Facts.
Bro, it's a scam, right? And not only is it a scam, but it's like there's so many other industries, and people can be like, "Oh, bro, but I want to be a nurse, bro. I want to be a doctor." Like, bro, that's not the point. If you want to be a doctor, engineer, whatever, where you need it,
facts.
Like do your thing. You gotta do your thing. But if you don't want to, and you have other plans for yourself, you don't want to live the traditional track, if you don't want to wait to retire at 65, if you want to enjoy life while you still can actually enjoy it, while you're still young and able to, right? If you want to live life on your own terms, you feel me? If you want to be financially free, but your time free, location free, you feel me? Like, then you got to tap in with this episode. So as I said, we're going to get right into this one. And, I want you guys to really take notes in this banger of an episode because we're going to give you guys a step-by-step playbook. Me and Darren, our homework for this past week was to come up with our own playbooks to dropping out. And so, Darren, we're going to use Siri right now. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Hey Siri, heads or tails? Oh, it's tails. So your pick. You want to go first? You want to go on me?
I'll go first.
You'll go first? All right, so Darren's going to set it off.
We'll get mine out the way because we're really here to hear John's playbook. All right, so here are my 5 steps to dropping out successfully.
All right, what's the name of the game? Like, you know how like everyone, what's the name of the play, bro? Like I'm going into my, talk to my parents. I'm like, what's the play called, bro?
This play, I'm gonna call it 4 verts. 4 verts, like from Madden, because 4 verts always works.
Yeah, 4 verts.
All right, so
100% success rate, guaranteed.
Exactly, 100%. So the first thing you want to do is identify what you're going to drop out for. This means like, what field are you going in? Are you doing real estate? Are you doing stocks? Are you an entrepreneur starting something new and doing your own business? That's what I mean by that. 1 second. Hate being sick. Don't be sick. Second one is find out exactly what you need to do to get into the industry that you're trying to get into. So basically, when I started, I reached out to John. So reaching out to John, they set me on the path to talk to different people in the brokerage that I'm in right now. So, you don't want to go in blind and you don't want to, just drop out with no plan. So obviously those two are pretty vital. So reach out to somebody and identify what field you're going into first. Third is going to be make sure that you have stable income coming in. So with me and John, we both worked jobs. So he worked at K. I worked at K Jewelers. I worked at ShopRite. So I have stable income coming in every week. His was stable, and he worked at Sign in the Well, so his was
when I
stable.
dropped out, I was working at K, and then summer came in, and I started working at Sign and K, and I was pushing like 70 hours.
Yeah, so make sure you have stable income. So I'm not saying you got to dedicate all your days to working at this job. You know, obviously you're going to be part-time, but make sure you have at least like a stable amount of money coming in every week, because when you drop out, you're going to need that income to keep you afloat for at least a while.
I want to add a quick point too to carry on to that, bro. Because like when you drop out, life get real fast.
Yes, it does.
And so like having that job, bro, is definitely having no job and dropping out would have definitely probably changed the game for both of us. OD. Because like once you get broke, it's like bills be popping out the blue, bro. Like,
yeah, I know.
Then you figure out like, oh, this business things cost money. For us, both for our case, we dropped out to get into real estate. You gotta pay for real estate school. You gotta pay
for that
to get your brokerage.
Now imagine if you had a car.
Yeah, you gotta pay for the
car.
Yeah.
Imagine
so
that.
It's like bills be popping out the blue. So like, yeah, I just want to emphasize this point.
Oh, so especially like if you don't have a job and like say you do like Instacart or something and you're using that as income, that's why I'm saying like, you know, keep another job while you're doing Instacart, or at least have a reliable car while you're doing Instacart, because because your car could go at a moment's notice. I could tell you from experience. So 4 is start saving money. That will go towards whatever you decided on. Like, you know, while you were in school. So say if you were gonna decide to trade stocks. So let's say you're not trading yet, but after school is over, you're gonna do it. So say you decided on this in February and your school doesn't end until May. I would say you want to save as much as you can. Not take your whole check and save it, but save as much as like makes you comfortable and enough that you have to pay your bills, and then some, like, you know, go out with your friends. So try to save, I want to say maybe $20 at the minimum, $20 to $10 at the minimum, just so like, you know, you have it saved just in case you need it at any time. Because, you know, when you drop out, like John said, life gets real, and, you know, there's going to be unexpected things that pop up, and you're going to need money, and you can't just, you know, if you're not going to go to school for anything, like, you know, if your parents aren't supplying you the money, like for me, it's going to be real tough. And the 5th and final one, which is why I put these in this order, is to meet with your counselor and start the withdrawal process. Because if you know anything about the withdrawal process, you have to speak with your counselor. Me, I was lucky because I just told them I wasn't going, and then they were like, okay. But this is the point where they're going to try to convince you to come back. They're going to throw everything at you, just saying, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. You could always just, you know, take a gap semester and come back, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, you really want to have this set, because like John said the last time, if you go in there and you tell them exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, they have no choice but to be like, okay, because keeping you at the university is really a sell. So if they can sell you on coming back, you know, they're still going to get paid whether you leave or you don't. So, you know, you just got to think about it like that sometimes. Yeah.
So recap for us. What's the 5 steps real quick? Just a quick high level recap. You don't have to get in depth again, but so everyone remembers the 4 verts dropout system from D books.
So the first one is going to be identify what field you're going in or what you're going to do. Second is going to be find out what you need to do to get into the industry that you're going into. 3 is make sure that you have a stable income. 4, start saving money as soon as you decide, like, you know, you're on there. And 5 is meet with your counselor.
Boom. So that's the 5 steps right there. 4 verts, guaranteed to work 100%. Now, we're not saying that you're going to become successful, but if you follow these exact playbooks, you will drop out of college. Guaranteed.
Yep, you will drop out and you won't be broke as soon as you drop out.
And listen. We're also not guaranteeing that your parents or your caretakers are going to be happy with your idea. Yeah. Because listen, like when you're breaking free from the traditional path, all the people that are still on the traditional path aren't going to understand. So before I even get into my points, bro, I wanna talk some misconceptions for you. Misconceptions real quick, bro. I did a good little, you know, intermission, bro. One of the big things or like not even misconceptions, myths, or like things we've dealt with at, you know, once we dropped out and whatever. So like once you drop out, people who don't see your vision will try to sway you back to what's comfortable for them.
Exactly.
And a lot of time, the traditional track is comfortable for them. And there's a quote I love. I heard this. I forget where I heard this from, but it was like, the reason they can't see your vision is because God ain't blessed them with it.
Yeah,
He gave you the vision for you to put it into play, for you to see. It's not for their eyes to see, or else they would have gotten the vision.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't get mad at other people for not understanding because that what you see wasn't meant for them to see. And so that was one of. Have you experienced something like that, bro?
Yeah, people all the time. They're like, oh, you planning on going back to school? I'm like, no, unless like I said the last.
What's your response back to that? Because a lot of people they be like, oh, well, you can always go back. Like, how does that comment make you feel, bro?
Right,
like, what's your response?
What's my response to that? It's usually just, okay, yeah, I'm not going back. I said, just tell them I'm doing real estate full time. I love doing real estate. Something I like to do. So I just tell them, yeah, that would be good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let them go.
Yeah, for me, sometimes I push back. It depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes, like, but like, why? What's the point? And, like, try to see if they could justify their reasoning as to why they should tell me about what I should do in my life. So here's another thing I learned, bro, is that people who didn't achieve what they wanted to achieve, right? People who didn't live up to their potential and are aware that they didn't live up to their potential will try to live out their lives through you, bro. They will try to tell you, oh, you should do this and that and that. But like deep down, and it's not for everyone, but like for some people, it's fueled from them not doing what they know they should have and could have done. And so now they're trying to tell you what you need to do. But it's like, bro, God already blessed you with a life, bro. You lived it how you decided to live it. That's on you. You feel me? God blessed me with my own life for me to decide how I want to live. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so, like, that was another thing I realized, too, after dropping out. And, like, another comment I always hated, bro, is, like, school is not for everybody. It's like, bro, I did amazing in school, bro. I knew it was a scam going in, but I only went because I knew no other route. And so, like, I could have excelled in school. But, like, once I realized there's other opportunities, it's not about whether it's for me or not. It's like whether I want to consciously be scammed or not, bro. Like,
exactly.
You feel me? Like, why would I go into
big debt machine? You can't do anything once you turn 18. You can't do anything, but you can't go buy a gun. You can't go drink. You can't
smoke.
Yeah,
you can't
do a whole bunch of things.
You can't you probably most likely, unless you got parents or someone to help you out, you're most likely not gonna get loans or mortgages. Right? Like if you're just the average 18-year-old who doesn't have any credit, doesn't have any income, or you're not getting anything in life except for a freaking massive college loan.
They'll approve you for that loan extra quick with extra, like, a lot of people 18. Like, going into college don't know this, but on the back end, the interest that they charge you that's the majority of what you're paying. You're not even paying for the loan itself. Majority of what you're paying for when you get these student loans is interest, and interest over time. If like it just builds. That's why majority of the time these people are paying $200,000 on a $50,000 loan that they got from going to school.
Yeah, and like it's a lot of times people graduating from school with loans that cost more than their salary, bro. Like,
exactly.
And not even just like a little bit more, like depending on what school you go to, bro, you'll come out with like literally like 2, 3, 4 times more in college debt than your starting salary sometimes, bro. And it's like then you got living expenses, bro, and a lot of people have lifestyle inflation. So like, right, they get some more money and they get more expensive, and they get more money and they get more expensive. And so it's like, bro, as you get more money, it never feels like you have money because you always just live.
And you always that payment you always got to make. So and then if you don't make it, good luck trying to get any other type of loan, because that's gonna hurt your credit score a lot.
100%, man. 100%, man. That's a good intermission. Right now we're gonna get into my system, bro. Right, we got Darren's 4-vert system, bulletproof, dropping out. Right, and speaking of bulletproof, perfect segue into mine. Right, the John Mendes, the Trill Johnny. We're gonna go OG, right?
The Trill Johnny. Okay,
this is not even John Mendes at the time, bro. This is when I was still. I'm Trill Johnny and I'm wavy. You feel me? Like, they don't even, the podcast listeners don't even know the slogan, bro.
You don't even know Trill
They didn't
Johnny.
even know the real Trill Johnny for real.
I don't think you really know.
The Trill Johnny bulletproof dropout system 100% approval rate, 100% guaranteed, 100% success rate.
Yeah.
I tried it one time, succeeded one time. That means 100% guaranteed.
101.
But please consult with your
parents.
somebody before you follow these methods. But
we are not experts, just so you know.
We are not experts at dropping out, but we have dropped out successfully. And mind you, we have dropped out successfully. We haven't dropped out and become successful yet, but we've completed the task of dropping out successfully, right? So at one chance, I dropped out on the first try. First try dropout, 100% success rate. I think I know what I'm doing when it comes to dropping out.
Exactly. That's what I mean. You didn't go back to school and then drop out again. You know, I would have been very unsuccessful because then you're shooting 50%.
Yeah.
Who wants to shoot 50% on dropping out of school?
Exactly, bro. Like, just make your decision and stand on that business.
Stand on business.
And so, the Trill Johnny bulletproof dropout system. Step number 1. Here's what you want to do. You want to read Rich Dad Poor Dad. And now, I'm not even saying read Rich Dad Poor Dad because it's the greatest book, it's the best book, it's the world's most prolific book, or any of that. I'm saying read that book because it does a great job of showing you the 2 different paths of lives. And now these aren't the only 2, but these are like the main 2 generalized paths of life. And one person, right, he's the poor person. You got that poor mindset, and the other person has that rich mindset. And like what this book is going to do is going to help you realize that there's another way of viewing the world. That's it. That's the only thing. You just got to open your mind to realize that there's more. Because for me, at the time when I dropped out, which is why this is step number 1, right, I only knew the traditional path.
Yeah.
So I went down the traditional path. You feel me? I would have definitely most likely done something else had I known there was something else. But I was like, listen, I knew school was a scam in high school, but I was like, I don't got no other option. I'm going to do what I got to do, get good grades, get a good SAT score, make sure I apply for my financial aid so I can get to college and not have my grandparents have to worry about paying it.
Yeah.
Right? I knew it was a scam, but it's like, all right, if there's no other choice, F it. I do what I got to do to get to that next step because I'm not going to intentionally shoot myself in the foot and not give myself any options. You feel me? Yeah. So, like, that's step number 1, read Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? And as I said, not the best book in the world, but does a great job of showing you that there's 2 different ways to view the world that most people don't see if you're not thinking entrepreneurially, bro. And, like, at that time, I wasn't trying to sell stuff. I wasn't trying to make money. I wasn't trying, you feel me? I read the book and I was like, all right. So that's step number 1, read Rich Dad Poor Dad. From there, step number 2, right, I'm about to set you up on game for real. Step number 2 is you want to start building your personal credit. Right? Why? Because credit come in clutch for everything in life, bro. Everything in life. So, like, start building your personal credit. The reason why, too, because, like, depending on what your situation is like, bro, some people may not like the decision you're making to drop out. So, like, you may have to rely on yourself for a little bit. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so it's like having that personal credit could really help you out. You feel me? In a time where money gets a little tight and you have to figure something out. But then also it opens up doors to get that business credit. It opens up doors to get some points and miles. You feel me? It opens up doors for in the future when you need to get that mortgage or you need to buy a place to rent. You feel me? Because like, it opens up doors. So it's like step number 2 is you want to start building up that personal credit. And now if you need help building that, go check out some of the earlier episodes I got in the podcast. I have a dope series of how I built my credit score to over 750. Got close to 500,000 points. So definitely go check that out, right? And so that's step number 2. So step number 1, you want to read Rich Dad Poor Dad just so you can view the world, get a little, shift in your mindset, right? Then step number 2 is you want to start building that personal credit because that's going to be, you feel me, a big play to set you up for good stuff later on in life. And depending on how the people around you that you grew up with start reacting, some people might bug out and try to kick you out the house or whatever. So it's like you got to make sure that you're well situated for whatever could happen. And having credit gives you access to credit, which means you have access to funds that you normally wouldn't have. Now, not saying go spend, and not make financially sound decisions. I'm just saying, like, start building your credit so, like, if it hits the fan, you feel me?
Got money.
You got something to rely on. There's a lot of times where, like, I ain't have it, and then, I had to use my credit card, but then I had to pay it off. But in that moment, I didn't have the bread, but when I didn't, I got paid. Boom. Paid off. And then especially when I'm talking specifically about business. Because once I got into business, trying to start up a business gets real expensive.
I know.
Right? So you don't have to drop out and start a business, but like credit in general just opens up doors. So you want to get that foundation out early, right? All right, step number 3, right, is you want to set your eye on something that interests you. So what I want you to do is spend a day just watching YouTube videos on double speed about all the different ways to make money online.
Yep.
All the different ways, right? It could be drop shipping. It could be stocks. It could be real estate. It could be whatever. Just one thing, one day. This should not take longer than a day. And then whatever that thing is, if you're someone that's indecisive, put all the options in a randomizer or ask Siri or ChatGPT, and then pick whatever one it lands on and run with it, right?
Thing on that, bro. So actually, if you didn't know, I'm a person who's indecisive. So this is like, so what John's saying, he's like absolutely right. So John knows this, but when I first started in real estate, like within the first month, he called me because we usually do these monthly calls, and he was asking me about just about I think it was about at the time his podcast, right?
It might have been.
It was about the podcast. So basically, what had happened was I had just got into back into the stock market, but this time I learned about trading like options. So I think one day I had Ford's calls for $12.50, and one night something had happened and it went up, like it just shot up overnight, and I had made like $200. So me, being the indecisive man, and I saw that real estate, you don't make any money like immediately. So with stocks, I saw like I made quick money. I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to just do this, screw real estate, blah blah blah. Little did I know, you get that little first rush of money on making stocks, but then you try to do that again, you lose the money, then you want to make the money back, so then you lose even more money, and that's how my short-lived stock career ends. So definitely, you can keep your interest in whatever you have on the side, but make sure that you have that like one thing. And if you need to use the randomizer, stick to what the randomizer told you. You never know; it could be what helps you out.
Yeah, and for anyone that's been keeping up with the podcast, you'll know like, man, I got into real estate not because I wanted to be an agent. It was originally wholesaling. And then from there, wholesaling led to me becoming an agent. And from becoming an agent led to me teaching social media classes. And I ended up doing a podcast too at the same time. And then I tried to create an agency. That didn't work out. But then I ended up starting to teach ChatGPT. And then from there, I ended up launching a course. And it's just like, now I'm like known for ChatGPT and AI and stuff. But like, had I not ever gotten into real estate through that $500 wholesaling course, right, I would have never ever been where I'm at today, because the dominoes wouldn't have fell the way they did now if I try to do it a different way. You feel me? So like, stick one thing, because even if that thing, you're not looking to succeed. You feel me? And it sounds crazy to say, like, I'm not looking to win.
Absolutely,
I'm not looking to
crazy.
Like, you're looking to fail as fast as possible, right? And something that you wouldn't mind trying and going all in on. And so it's like, the reason why you want to fail as fast as possible, because in all actuality, if you're taking a multiple choice test, bro, this is why I was so tough at tests in high school. It's A, B, C, and D. At random, you have a 25% chance to get the answer right. Right? A lot of people, they're trying to look for the right answer. And so they're playing a game already where the odds aren't in their favor.
Exactly.
Right? And so for me, what I did was I eliminated the things I knew weren't right as fast as possible. Boom. Now my odds boost from 25 to 50%.
50 at least, at the very minimum.
And so now I'm playing where the odds, they're not in my favor, but they're also not in their favor.
Exactly.
So now I'm playing at better odds, right? And so you want to try something that you can fail, and like you're looking to fail, because that's going to be, a sign. And then from there, the things you learn in that area is going to just transfer over to other stuff.
Yeah.
And you just carry that stuff over, right? So let me quick recap so far. So we got read Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? Start building your personal credit, right? List out all the things that potentially interest you, and then pick one. Randomizer if you need to. And then from there, right, double down. Give it your all. Try to learn it. Try to make some money. And try to grow that as fast as possible and fail. Because you're going to learn a whole lot. And it may not... When you think about it, like, how quickly can this fail? But, like, you want it to win. But you're seeing if it fails or not.
Yeah.
Because, like, if it fails, then you can go to the next thing. And you're not going at it... Like, if you come at it with the mindset, like, this has to work, and it doesn't, you get disappointed. You get depressed. You get discouraged.
Exactly.
But, like, if you're going at the mindset where, like, I'm not looking at this to win or not. You're just looking at it to see if something that you could stick with. You feel me?
Exactly.
Because like, if it's something you could stick with, eventually you'll get better. You feel me? Like real estate wasn't something I could stick with. As we know, I don't sell houses, bro. Like, but I gave it a shot. I tried it out for a year, right? So it's like you got to give that time to stick. Once you find something that you can stick with, right? From there, you want to make sure you have a job, right? Start getting some money. And Darren already covered that, so I'm not going to get too deep into it.
Yep.
Right? Then the sixth step is jot down and step number 4, we pick something and tried it out. Jot down the things you like about it and how you can potentially succeed with it. Right? And your plan to succeed with it. It doesn't have to be the most, complex business plan. For me, I was talking about I'm gonna get into real estate. My game plan is I'm gonna get into real estate, right? I already know how to get my license. I already know what I need to do to get my license. And from there, start selling houses and find a mentor. And then from there, use the money to get into real estate investing, start buying rental properties and stuff like that. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff, but it sounded good. You feel me?
Yeah, I know.
It sounded good because the final step, the final boss you have to compete is the advisor, right? the advisor is the final boss.
Exactly.
Now, me and Darren were in a situation, we're in the pandemic. So, we weren't on campus. We're at home. Everyone, the whole world's paused. People going through family stuff. So, it's all the advisors were a lot more lenient, right? They weren't really trying to convince you on coming into school, right?
Exactly.
But now they are, and so it's you got to go in there knowing your stuff. Don't ever go in unprepared. So if you follow my bulletproof system, right, you would have read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now you start seeing the world a little differently, right? Then from there you start building your personal credit up, right? That's not gonna really come into play when you're talking to your advisor or anything, but it's gonna come and play later on in your life, and you're gonna thank me for that, right? And from there you want to start watching everything you can on different ways to make money. Pick one. Start going all in on it. In the meantime, right, find a job, and then from there, schedule that withdrawal consultation, whatever it's called, with your advisor. And if you notice how in neither of our steps did Darren or I talk about consulting with your parents or whoever around you, right? This is something that you have to be able to stomach. Part of being an adult, right, is taking accountability with your actions, whether it works out or not. You feel me?
Yeah, it's big time.
That's one of the main things. And so if you're looking for confirmation, for affirmation from all these different people, the only person, a coffin is a 1-bedroom suite, bro.
Exactly.
You feel me? So realistically speaking, the only person whose decisions you have to live, that you have to be okay living with are your own. You feel me? So as long, be ethical, of course, be good.
Yeah.
Be just. But bro, you dropping out, you're not hurting nobody, bro. You're not going out and committing crime. You're just trying to pursue another path that you think will be more beneficial to you succeeding, right? People try to make it seem like dropping out is this evil criminal thing, bro, because you want to go against the traditional track. But it's not like that. It's I see a path that's better for me, that's, that I could thrive in. I'm going to go pursue it. And that's that. And so if it gets a little tricky where it's but my parents are paying their money for it. Bro, money come and go, bro.
Exactly.
Pay them back.
If you have to,
Yeah, feel me?
Pay them back.
Pay them back, bro. If you drop out and they get tight, I was paying for your college and you're bro, pay them back. If you're almost done and why finish? I'm going to finish what I started. Why? Real winners quit. Controversial topic. Let me explain that. Let me break that down. Real winners quit. Here's why. In order to be successful at a high level, you can't wear all the hats.
Exactly. You got to delegate.
You got to delegate. You got to leverage. You got to hire help. If you want to win big, you can't do everything anymore. You can't pull all the strings anymore.
Yeah.
You have to let people, do their thing. And you have to give up control, right? And so it's knowing when it's time to quit something is just as important as seeing something through to the end.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of the times, yeah.
For the long-term vision, right, what is better for you? You feel me? And as for me, I was already a year and a half in, so I wasn't all the way there. But as I said, going into it, I knew it was a scam. So it's if I could leave sooner, why not just leave sooner? Like, why put myself through another year of this when I can have that whole year to, you feel me? Because I think another thing too, like college people don't understand, it's also an opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Because you know how much you can grow in 4 years, bro? Like John that graduated high school versus John now, like, I had a good head on my shoulders, but I didn't know nothing about business or life really for real. Like,
yeah, you really don't know anything until you get
in the real
at
world.
least 21. You really don't know. You don't realize a lot. A lot in this world.
You get sheltered, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, bro, it's also all the debt that, but like, then also it's like the opportunity cost of like what business you could have started, what things you could have done. And like, oh, but I only got a year left. Bro, you could do a whole lot in a year, bro.
That year can get you $1 million.
Yeah, OD. Now you could tee up, or that can give you a whole bunch of experience. You feel me? And then, like, if you follow this method, you're going to drop out on the first try, bro. So it's like, it's 100% guaranteed, bro.
Exactly.
Regardless of whether you want to go the John way or the Darren way. Bro, it's guaranteed. And so, long story short, Darren, like, any, like last points you want to give to the people listening about dropping out and, like, you know, what's on the other side?
So basically what I would tell you is, if you're, like John said, if you're looking for affirmation from anyone, especially if you're looking for affirmation from your parents, one of them might give it to you, the other, you're going to get pushback, or anybody in your family. Just don't, like, as long as you know your plan, you stick to a plan, you can use either one of our plans, or as long as you know your structure and what you're going to do, majority of the time, you can't lose. Because you already went in there with your plan, knowing what you're going to do. So I say just trust yourself. The only person that knows you is you. Yeah, that's my advice.
Yeah, I like to add on to that too. Like, don't set yourself up for failure so you can say, oh, look, I tried, just to go back, right? If you're going to do this, like, really go all in. Like, there's no dibble-dabbling. Like, you're going to mess up both of our ratios of 100% success rate.
Exactly.
Bro, if you go in, drop out, and then go back. So, like, we don't want you to do that, bro. Like, you have to be committed. You have to go all in.
Exactly.
And the journey may look like, you know, a straight line. Darren got into real estate, and he's been in real estate. You know, I got into real estate and started doing a whole bunch of other stuff, and like now I don't do anything with real estate. So it's like we both dropped out, right, in a similar time period, not too long after one another, only a year apart. It's like, but our paths ended up being very different. Now who knows? Darren might end up saying F real estate too and start doing some other stuff. But like, you never know what the path ahead of you lies. But you keep pushing forward, and the path starts clearing up. You feel me? As you move forward, the path gets clearer and clearer. And so it's like, you may not see the final destination. You may not see what it looks like, but who really cares? Because none of us seen a pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's like, what you really planning 5, 10, 20, 30 years for, bro? Exactly. Like, set yourself up, you feel me, for success, for the future, but live in the present, bro. And reflect on the past.
That's what a lot of people do. When you think about getting this degree, you think, oh, I gotta get this degree. I gotta, because I'm gonna get a high paying job. You don't even know you could get out of college, and the best job you could get is something for $40,000. So definitely living it now.
Man, a lot of people, and this is another thing too. Working at that restaurant, I was making a lot more than you people with bachelor's degree. Working at a restaurant, you feel me? Working at a restaurant, I was getting a lot more bread, and that doesn't even include my K jeweler money that was coming in. I'm just talking straight from working at the restaurant. I was making a lot more money and I'm not even a server. I was just running food, and I was touching more bread than people who have bachelor's degree. So it's like, don't let it fool you. That college degree isn't a get out of jail free card. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't automatically mean that you're gonna get money. You're gonna have a job lined up waiting for you. If you do what you gotta do, you may, right? And then, like, people talk about benefits and stuff like that, bro. What's a better benefit than you living life on your own terms, bro? Like,
exactly. Now you're not indebted to somebody. You don't gotta pay somebody back a large sum of money because they scammed you. You thought you were gonna get this degree. You got the degree, but you got scammed.
And now here's another thing too. Like, even if you have a full ride to college, bro, like, you're gonna get a full ride to something that you might not even want to use. So, like, bro, either way, like...
Exactly. And if you get a degree in entrepreneurship from a college, you're not really, like... unless you start a business, bro. Yeah, you have to start a business. First, don't go into starting a business wildly, but, you're not going to get any entrepreneurship experience getting an entrepreneurship degree. You're not going to get hired by anybody because you got an entrepreneurship degree. You got to show you got experience in the field. So, I mean... There's a lot of people who got experience in the field that'll be higher or more qualified than the person with the degree with no experience. So
100%. Like, there's nothing more than getting your stripes and having it battle tested, bro. And nothing better, bro. Like, you learn so much about how to actually maneuver with business when you're actually running a business and you got things to pay and no money to pay any of it, bro.
Exactly.
Like, you learn so much OD. And so, plus, when you're in school, you're playing pretend entrepreneur. Like, there's no stakes at the line, bro. And when it's business, like, everything's on the line.
Exactly.
And it's just like, if this don't work, if you don't show up, you're not getting money. If you don't pay, if you don't work, you're not getting money. Especially when you're starting off.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
You know, and once you start, it's like your brain never turns off, bro. It's like, because you're always worrying, like, I gotta get a client, I gotta get a client, I gotta grow my business, I gotta do. Yeah. So it's like now your brain's constantly going. So it's like, man, like, even when you're not working, you feel like your brain is just getting occupied. But long story short, man, we all say this jokingly. Like, this whole past 2 episodes, it was like, we joking, but we dead serious.
Exactly.
Like, we serious if you're serious. But like, if you're not serious, bro.
Like, if you really want to drop out, like, we're dead serious. But if you want to
go to stay in school,
yeah.
We're just joking. Don't take it too, don't take it too much to heart, bro. Don't get offended.
Congrats to everybody who graduated,
Congrats to you. Controversial statement. I'm about to get people to take the end of the episode. Bro, just because you graduate does not mean the price went up. Word of my mother, bro. Just because you graduate does not mean the price went up. I get tired.
The price probably stayed the same. I can't lie. They're just going to give you that 5% bonus the next year when you get that job. I'm not going to lie.
What do you mean, bro? Let me break down something for y'all. For everyone that graduated and think their price went up. Your price goes up when your value goes up. And your value goes up when you got proof that you can deliver. Graduating isn't proof that you could deliver. It's proof that you can stay in school for a long enough time required to graduate.
You got
don't mean
credits.
You got experience. Don't mean you got results to back that experience. You don't got no testimonials. You feel me? You don't got nothing. Like, your price doesn't go up just you get it. You get a degree. People don't look at your transcripts. People don't look at your feel me, your diploma or your whatever it's called. Freaking like.
I know somebody who didn't go to school, got a certificate for something. It's like they work with money, like finances and stuff. They got a certificate. Didn't go. Now they make over $100K. So you going to college? Yeah. I mean, you might have been better off investing somewhere else. I mean, you were the good student. You graduated college. You got your credits. Congrats. I'm not saying that. Like,
now, what Kendrick say? He said, I hate people that hate, and I'm your biggest hater. College, I'm your biggest hater.
I'm not hating on y'all, but I'm hating on the college system, like the school system in general. Like,
100%.
Because school system won't teach you how to get any experience, how to work in the field. It'll teach you the basics, but it won't give you, like, what experience it give you.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think it's a great place to, we have to, ruffle some feathers at the end there. You feel me? And on a solid note.
Yeah.
Man, but that's it for this episode. This is the step-by-step proven systems, 2 systems we gave y'all today. And you had whole part 1 to get a bunch of ideas and creativity. Yeah. So after this, if you want to drop out and if you're serious about dropping out, right, this is the plan. This is the playbook.
It's a playbook.
And if this playbook doesn't work for you, most people be like, oh, well, that's them. They dropped out in the pandemic. This is the limiting beliefs that come up, whatever. Yeah. Figure out how to do it for you. Take what we just listed out here and make it make sense based on you and your life right now and your situation. Because your situation isn't our situation.
Yep.
And if you take this at face value, you're missing out on all the gems, bro. You gotta reflect on this, bro. You gotta be like, all right, they did this, and that. I can't really do that because my mom did that. Boom, boom. All right, but how can you adjust it to make it make sense for you, bro? That's business right there, bro. There's not gonna be one size fits all for anything. So you gotta be able to take that, adapt it a little bit, morph it a little bit, tweak it a little bit, adjust as necessary, so that it could, be a success for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, any last words?
Nothing. If you want to get into real estate, DM me.
Yes, sir. Yo, Darren, real quick, where could dudes find you at, bro? If dudes want to connect you.
If you want to connect with me, you could follow me on pretty much all platforms at Darren Booker or Darren Booker Official.
Yeah.
Same across all platforms. So if you can't find me on a platform, I probably don't got it. So got TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. No LinkedIn just yet, but I'll have one soon.
Yes, sir. So that's going to be in the show notes, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.
All right.